When Cameron goes quiet, you know a storm is brewing, but when he claps back, he burns everything to the ground. After weeks of tension, leaked footage, and courtroom chaos, Cameron shocks the world by dropping private voicemails from Chrissy, messages she personally begged him to delete. These aren't just voice notes, they're nuclear. As fans lean in Jim Jones reels, the real question becomes, why did Chrissy confide in Cam at all? And why now? What begins as revenge quickly spirals into a war of receipts, regret, and revelation. With every voicemail played, another layer of truth is peeled back, and what's left isn't pretty. Loyalty is shattered, love is exposed, and the internet is eating it up. But for the people at the center of the firestorm? This is no longer entertainment, it's survival. Welcome to the fallout. It started like any other afternoon on social media, endless scrolling, stories, memes. But at 2:12 p.m. sharp, Cameron posted a single cryptic tweet, "Y'all ready to hear her BEGGED?" The internet didn't need an invitation twice. Within minutes, a new post appeared on Cam's Instagram story. A black screen. An audio message. Labeled, Chrissy voicemail 1. Click, Cam, please delete those messages. I wasn't thinking straight. You weren't supposed to keep them. The voice was unmistakably Chrissy's, raw, emotional, almost desperate. And with that single post, Cameron lit a fire under the entire hip-hop community. Was it real? Why now? What else was coming? Cam didn't wait. He posted a second story. This one had a caption, "When you tried to play me, but forgot I don't lose receipts." Another voicemail, "Jim can't know about what I told you. It'll ruin everything." The story disappeared after 24 hours, but not before it was screen recorded, reposted, dissected, and spread like wildfire. Within the hour, Twitter was ablaze. Blogs, reaction channels, and even mainstream outlets scrambled to verify the audio. This could be a major legal issue, said one entertainment lawyer on TikTok. If these were recorded without consent, Cam could be in serious trouble. But Cam wasn't backing down. He doubled down. He posted a screenshot of a text thread, Chrissy asking him, "You didn't save those, right?" followed by a message from Cam replying with a shrug emoji. The receipts were stacking up. Jim Jones remained silent for hours. Too long, according to fans. The silence was deafening. Meanwhile, Chrissy's Instagram went dark. No stories. No posts. Just one subtle change. Her bio, once full of love quotes and brand tags, now read simply, "Don't test the quiet ones." Speculation exploded. Had Chrissy confided in Cam during a rough patch with Jim? Were they more than just friends at one point? And if not, what exactly was she hiding? Podcasts erupted with theories. Cameron is too strategic for this to be petty, said one host. He's trying to paint a picture, and he's got the brush, the paint, and the whole damn canvas. But for Jim, this wasn't just paint. It was blood in the water. Sources close to Jim said he was furious and betrayed, not just by Cam, but by Chrissy. People in his circle said he had no idea Chrissy ever confided in Cam on that level. It felt like a double betrayal, and the worst part? No one knew how much more Cam was sitting on and back in the spotlight. Cam posted a video, not of a voicemail, but of himself. Calm, confident, speaking to the camera, "I didn't want to do this. But when you throw dirt on my name, you better be ready for me to dig up what you buried." Mic drop. The comment section was chaos. Some fans sided with Cam, claiming he was standing up for himself after months of being blamed for leaks and drama. Others called him out for being messy and disrespectful. "This ain't hip-hop, this is high school," one follower commented, but no one could deny it. Cam had the world's attention. Jim finally broke his silence with a post that read, "Clowns perform, Kings rebuild." It didn't tag Cam. It didn't mention Chrissy. But everyone knew exactly what it meant. Then, late that night, Cam dropped the biggest bomb yet. Voicemail 3, Cam. "I shouldn't have said what I did about Jim. I was mad. I was hurt. You can't hold that against me forever." It was vulnerable, painful, and damning. If Chrissy was calling Cam in moments of doubt, pain, or betrayal, what did that say about her relationship with Jim? And why did Cam still have those recordings? Legal experts began weighing in again. Depending on where this was recorded, Cam could face real consequences. But if it was mutual communication and not private in a legal sense, this could get messier than we thought. At the center of the storm, Chrissy stayed silent, but silence has weight, and hers was thunderous. Jim reportedly told close friends he was done protecting everyone else and ready to clear the air. Rumors swirled that a public statement, or even a diss track, was on the way. Meanwhile, Cam posted a meme of a frog sipping tea. This wasn't just beef. This was scorched earth, and everyone was watching, waiting, refreshing timelines. It didn't take long. Less than 48 hours after Cameron's voicemail leak detonated across the internet, Jim Jones re-entered the spotlight, and he came swinging. It began subtly, like the calm before a storm. A tweet at 8 a.m. from Jim's official account simply read, "Every king has his day. But even kings get tired of pretending." Then came a promo image. Black background. A shattered crown. Title, "The silence is over." Fans knew exactly what was coming, a diss track. But they had no idea it would come so fast, so raw, and so personal. At 11:11 a.m., Jim dropped the track on all platforms, accompanied by a gritty one-take video filmed on the rooftop of a Harlem building. The lyrics were razor sharp, "Kept receipts too, but I ain't got a show, just know them late night calls? I already outgrow them. You a backup singer, barely on key / got Chrissy crying, to you, not confiding in me." It was a lyrical sniper shot, but Jim didn't stop there. He confirmed on Instagram Live later that afternoon that Chrissy's voicemails were real and old. He claimed she reached out to Cam during a temporary split, but denied that anything shady happened. "She was hurt. I was hurt. But we worked through it. What I didn't expect was Cam holding on to that like some tabloid junkie." Jim's tone was calm, but the message was lethal. Meanwhile, the internet was in chaos. Some fans applauded Jim for finally standing his ground, praising the maturity in his handling. Others said it was too little, too late, that his silence had allowed Cam's narrative to take over. Then came Cam's response. True to form, Cam didn't rap. He memed that he posted a picture of Jim wearing a crown, but photoshopped it to be cracked, crooked, and falling off. The caption, "When the king's castle's made of gossip." That same evening, a Twitter Spaces erupted with thousands of listeners. Influencers, journalists, and even former Dipset affiliates joined in, dissecting every line of Jim's diss, every second of Cam's clips. One former affiliate dropped a bomb. "Cam ain't even dropped the worst one yet. He's sitting on something bigger." Speculation grew. Was there a voicemail from Chrissy confessing something worse? A secret about Jim? About Cam? By midnight, #ChryssyGate and #Cam vs Jim were both trending. Even celebrities weighed in. A few tweeted their support for Jim. Others posted laughing emojis with Cam's memes. The culture was divided. In the middle of it all, Chrissy remained silent, but her silence was now being interpreted in new ways. Was it regret? Shame? Or was she preparing to clap back herself? Insiders close to her leaked to blogs that Chrissy was hurt, blindsided, and furious. One blog even claimed she was consulting with her legal team to explore options if the voicemails were used for profit or defamation. Then, another unexpected twist, a new voice, Joseph Lil Capo Jones, Jim's son, posted a cryptic Instagram story. They both failed her. And now they're turning her pain into playlists. That one post ignited a second firestorm. Was Joseph taking Chrissy's side? Or calling out both Jim and Cam for exploiting her vulnerability? Either way, it gave the public something else to chew on. By the next morning, Cam went quiet. Too quiet. People expected another voicemail. Another meme. Another explosion. Instead, his account posted nothing. Speculation grew that legal action had finally reached Cam's doorstep. One entertainment lawyer posted, if Chrissy's lawyers issued a cease and desist, Cam's silence could mean he's strategizing. Jim, however, wasn't done. 2 days later, he dropped a behind-the-scenes video titled, "Rebuilding the Throne," a mix of studio footage, family moments, and him in therapy. The message was clear. He was owning his pain, not performing it. Critics called it PR, fans called it growth, but in the comments, one message stood out, from Cam's burner account, "Rebuild it. Just don't forget who knocked it down first." Then came a message from Chrissy, finally breaking her silence. A simple post. A picture of her in front of a mirror. The caption, "Let them burn each other. I'm done being the match." The public ate it up. Memes, reposts, think pieces. Suddenly, the war wasn't just between Cam and Jim, it was about how we treat women in hip-hop drama. About privacy. About forgiveness. About legacy. As the dust settled, for now, the world waited for one final shoe to drop. Would Cam leak another voicemail? Would Chrissy speak in an interview? Would Jim and Chrissy finally go their separate ways? No one knew, but everyone was watching. The buzz was starting to fade, but the scars remained. For the first time in weeks, no one posted anything. No tweets. No lives. Just silence. And somehow, that silence spoke louder than any diss track ever. Jim Jones was seen leaving a studio in Brooklyn, face unreadable, flanked by 2 members of his inner circle. No press conference. No freestyle. Just a short message to the paparazzi, when you're healing, you don't gotta perform it. At the same time, Cameron's camp issued a brief press statement saying he was moving on from the situation and would be returning to the music, not the mess. But for many, the damage was already done. Then came a twist no one saw coming. Charlemagne the God teased an exclusive on The Breakfast Club. "We got someone in the building tomorrow who's gonna clear the air," he said. The next morning, the world tuned in, and there she was, Chrissy Lampkin, elegant, composed, tired, but unbroken. "I'm here to speak the truth. Not for clicks. Not for gossip. Just the truth." She went on to explain how the voicemails came from a moment in her life when she felt abandoned, unheard, and scared. She didn't deny reaching out to Cameron. But she did deny any inappropriate intentions. Cam was someone who, at the time, I thought could help Jim see reason. We were all friends once. We were family. But that version of us no longer exists. She called Cam's release of the voicemails petty and cruel, adding that no woman deserves to have her lowest moment turned into internet content. Then, in a surprising twist, she also held Jim accountable. "There were things I needed from Jim emotionally, and I didn't get them. That doesn't justify what Cam did. But it explains why I reached out in the first place." The room was silent. Charlemagne leaned in and asked the question on everyone's mind, "Would you ever take Jim back?" Chrissy paused. Then, "We'll always love each other. But sometimes love just ain't enough." Social media exploded. Clips from the interview trended for hours. Think pieces poured in. Some praised Chrissy for her composure and honesty. Others accused her of playing victim. But the majority seemed to empathize. "She didn't ask for any of this," one comment read. "Cam weaponized her pain. Jim ignored it. She lived it." Meanwhile, Cameron dropped a surprise EP titled Deleted Messages, a 5-track project that walked the line between apology and defiance. Track titles included Archives, Voice Notes, Ain't No Loyalty, Red Receipt, Delete. "For me, not for you." Each track hinted at regret, but none were overtly apologetic. Jim, however, remained quiet. Instead of responding through music, he announced the launch of a mental health initiative for men in the hip-hop community called Kings Rebuild. "We've all made mistakes. But it's time we start healing the right way, with support, with honesty, and with accountability." The move earned him praise from fans and critics alike. And Chrissy? She partnered with a women's advocacy group to host a podcast called Unmuted, sharing stories of women in the spotlight and how public narratives often strip them of their humanity. The first episode? Her own story. "I'm not here to relive trauma. I'm here to reclaim it." The final voicemail Cam allegedly held onto? He never released it. Some say it was too painful. Others say he knew he'd gone too far. But for everyone involved, Cam, Jim, Chrissy, and even Joseph, this saga marked the end of an era once bound by music, fame, and friendship, now separated by hurt, betrayal, and growth. The world had watched them crumble, but now, finally, they were all beginning to rebuild. And while the drama might live forever online, the people at the center of it were moving on. One voicemail at a time. If this saga proved anything, it's that fame, love, and betrayal are messier than ever in the digital age. Whether you side with Cameron's no-holds-barred honesty, Jim Jones' attempts to heal, or Chrissy's emotional truth, one thing is clear: everyone has a story, and not all of them deserve to be turned into headlines. Now it's your turn to speak. What do you think really happened behind the scenes? Was Cam wrong for airing private messages, or was he simply defending himself with receipts? Should Jim have stepped up earlier, or did he do the right thing by staying silent? And what about Chrissy, misunderstood or manipulative? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more explosive deep dives. Hit that notification bell so you never miss the truth behind the drama. Because in a world full of filters, fake smiles, and hidden agendas, we're here to keep it raw, real, and unfiltered. Until next time, stay curious, stay woke, and above all, stay ready. Because the next voicemail might just be yours.